These ordinary fish became one of the most well-known symbols of Japan. But behind this colorful flying decoration lies an ancient dragon legend that originated in China. So how did they eventually become one of Japan's most recognizable symbols? And why are they considered far more than just simple decorations? Today I'm uncovering the history, hidden meaning, and surprising evolution of koinobori while turning them into handmade charms and jewelry. I am Shuki, the artist behind Novyra jewelry and clay art, and I'm obsessed with legends, myths, and stories. Today will mark the first episode of my new YouTube series called the Solune Society Archives, where I share my love of stories, legends, myths, and my art inspired by them with you. So get cozy and let's uncover the story behind the koinobori. First things first, what is koinobori? The Japanese word koinobori is made up of two parts, koi, which means carp, and nobori, which refers to vertical banners, flags, or streamers, often used to display family crest or in samurai culture. They are colorful, eye-catching, carp-shaped windsocks, banners, or streamers. Japan's Children's Day is celebrated on the 5th of May. As one of the most important decorations, koinobori are displayed in large quantities from April to early May. As you noticed, I call them festival decorations, but in truth they are much more than that. To understand that, we have to dive deeper into the symbolism and history of not just the koinobori, but Japan and the evolution of Japanese Children's Day as well. Where to begin with? Why are they carp-shaped? The koi is the symbol of luck, prosperity, success, good fortune, and perseverance, as the koi fight the river by swimming upstream. Of course, this isn't all that's behind it. Not like two samurai watched the koi climb up a stream and decided it was cool and just made it a thing.
Oh my god, what a cool fish.
Let's make it a symbol of prosperity and success. Okay.
In truth, many legends and beliefs form this symbolism. The most famous that these beliefs root from is the legend of the Dragon Gate. According to historical records, this originates from traditional Chinese folklore. The legend takes place along the Yellow River, the second longest river in China. Far upstream, there was said to be an extremely high and steep waterfall, and on top of it, the Dragon Gate. According to the myth, if a carp could leap over this waterfall, it would transform into a beautiful dragon. However, the river was anything but calm. Its waters roared through narrow mountain fissures filled with violent rapids, waves, and crashing currents. Every year, thousands of koi would begin the journey upstream, but to even approach the waterfall required immense courage, strength, skill, and perseverance. Many would fail long before even reaching its base, and even among those who did, many eventually turned back, carried away by the relentless currents. Still, there remained a few who continued trying again and again for hundreds of years. Their determination became so persistent that it even caught the attention of local demons, who mocked them and out of malice raised the height of the waterfall even further. But despite this, one single golden carp never gave up. After countless struggles against the river's fiercest obstacles, it finally leapt over the Dragon Gate. Impressed by its unwavering perseverance and heroic effort, the Jade Emperor, the supreme deity in Taoism, transformed the carp into a golden dragon. The dragon symbolized supreme power, wisdom, authority, and good fortune. As for any legend, there are of course slight variations to this story, but the core remains the same. You might wonder why the legend was based on a koi rather than another fish that lives in Asia and fights upstream like salmons or trouts. Well, first of all, the koi is much prettier, and second of all, the legend is set in the Yellow River, where carps are native inhabitants, whereas salmons or trouts, for example, weren't. And there is also some disagreement over whether the fish that leapt over the gate was yellow or not. Some say that certain carp become yellow due to the muddy water of the Yellow River, but this doesn't really change the core and the meaning of the legend. Now we know the legend, but how did this make its way to Japan, and why did the koinobori become such a well-known symbol there rather than in China? Well, because China and Japan are geographically close, cultural exchange between the two has taken place throughout the entire history. Many traditions, myths, and folk beliefs were transmitted in both directions. It's likely that around the 6th century, when Buddhism was introduced to Japan, various foreign stories, cultural influences arrived alongside it. and gradually blended into the existing Japanese culture. Over time, these tales and legends began to spread and evolve within Japan as well. But let's return to the koinobori. Historical findings suggest that carp streamers, or more broadly banner-like decorations which featured carp symbols, appeared in Japan as early as the Heian period, but they became much more established during the Edo period. The tradition of flying banners itself dates back to the samurai era, when warriors carried flags on the battlefield. These banners were highly symbolic, each with its distinct colors and designs representing different clans and families. Even during this time, some banners featured carp imagery, symbolizing strength, resilience, courage, and the hope for success even in the face of adversity. During the Edo period, however, koinobori were no longer exclusive to samurai families and gradually evolved into decorative streamers displays outside of homes, especially those with sons. Families wished for their children to grow up as resilient, determined, and strong as the carp from the legend that ascended the Dragon Gate and transformed into a dragon. Eventually, townspeople adopted the costume as well, though many could not afford expensive materials like silk. Instead, they painted carp symbols onto cloth or paper and let them flutter in the wind as prayers for their family's prosperity and their children's health. By this point, the materials and designs of koinobori had diversified greatly, and around the Boys' Festival on the 5th of May, they could be seen flying outside homes all across Japan. By this time, the carp streamers already looked very similar to the koinobori we recognize today, but have you noticed how it was originally called the Boys' Day rather than the Children's Day? Japanese Children's Day actually originated from China and arrived alongside 4 other traditional festivals: the New Year celebration, Hinamatsuri, also known as the Girls' Day, Tanabata, the Star Festival, and Kikko no Sekku, the Chrysanthemum Festival. Boys' Day originally began as the Iris Festival. In China, the 5th lunar month was considered especially unlucky, particularly the 5th day of the 5th month, so both the Chinese and Japanese decorated their eaves with irises and mugwort to ward off misfortune. Young girls would also bathe in water filled with iris petals for purification. These girls played an important role in the festivals dedicated to the rice-field god. But these are fascinating stories for another time, and this video is about koinobori, so let's get back on track. Under samurai rule, the Iris Festival gradually evolved into Boys' Day, as samurai families placed great importance on raising strong sons who would become courageous warriors and continue the family lineage. Families began visiting shrines, offering armor and prayers for the prosperity, health, and success of their sons, especially their heirs. Around this time, people also started decorating their homes with miniature displays of armor, swords, and helmets, which symbolize protection and strength for the boys. This tradition is still practiced today. Then, during the Edo period, koinobori, or the symbols of strength, perseverance, and success, also became a way for families to pray for their sons' future. Many households would hang one koinobori for each son they had. They were often displayed alongside May dolls, another important part of Children's Day in Japan. These dolls are modeled after samurai armor and helmets and symbolize health, courage, and strength. Representing the brave warriors from Japan's Warring States period, they embody the hope that boys will grow up healthy, resilient, and strong. In 1948, Boys' Day was officially changed to Children's Day to create an inclusive national holiday that celebrates all children regardless of gender, as well as the family unit itself. It also became a national holiday in Japan, unlike Girls' Day. Now that we have explored the history behind koinobori, let's look at some other interesting details to better understand their symbolism and why they became such an iconic part of Japanese culture. Originally, carp streamers were mostly colored black or red. However, during the 1970 Osaka World's Fair, koinobori were introduced to a much wider international audience and quickly became recognized as a core symbol of Japanese culture. Following the event, their designs and materials evolved significantly. Today, koinobori are made in a wide variety of colors, patterns, shapes, and sizes, using mostly synthetic materials, which are cheaper to produce and more resistant to the weather. Traditional silk koinobori can still be found, but they are far more expensive. Over time, koinobori also became part of modern pop culture. In anime, they often appear in springtime scenes to create a nostalgic or festive atmosphere. They have also inspired fashion, appearing on clothing, accessories, artwork, and various types of merchandise. Some restaurants even use them as decorations to appeal to tourists and children alike. It became so popular that you can even find an emoji of it on your phone's keyboard. And honestly, they inspired me too. which is why I'm making these little back charms, keychains and jewelry pieces. They will actually be available to purchase soon at novyrajewelry.com alongside some other creations, so if you would like to see the finished pieces and learn more about them, stay until the end of the video and check the description as well. Anyway, you might have noticed that koinobori come in many different colors. Today you can find them in almost every color imaginable, but the traditional ones each carry their own hidden meaning. So let's talk about what these colors represent and how koinobori are traditionally displayed. Each carp symbolizes a different member of the family, and they are usually arranged in a specific order on a tall pole. The black carp represents the father, the head of the household, and symbolizes strength and leadership. The red, or sometimes pink carp, represents the mother, and symbolizes gentleness, warmth, and affection. The blue carp traditionally represents a boy and expresses wishes for his growth and energy and success. The green carp represents girls and symbolizes health and happiness. There are several different arrangements, but the most traditional composition starts with a large black magoi at the top, a native Japanese black carp species that was commonly seen before the Edo period. Beneath it hangs a slightly smaller red or pink higoi, a red carp that originally appeared as a mutation of magoi. Finally below them is a smaller blue kogoi. Today, modern displays often include multiple blue or green carps as well, representing additional children in the family. There are usually more parts to a traditional koinobori arrangement than just the carp streamers themselves. At the very top, above the fish, you will usually find the yaguruma, a metallic pinwheel, and the fukinagashi, a long banner with 5 colorful streamers. The yaguruma spins in a circular motion, which is believed to ward off evil spirits, and according to tradition, its movement was also thought to attract the attention of the gods. The fukinagashi carries several meanings as well. It can symbolize announcing the birth of a boy to both the gods and the surrounding community, while in other interpretation, its 5 colored streamers are connected to the Chinese theory of the 5 elements and are meant to protect against evil spirits. Now we know what koinobori displays look like in the past, but what do they look like in modern times? Koinobori are still displayed outside private homes in Japan for Children's Day, but the traditional tall pole arrangements seen in gardens are becoming less and less common. This is partially due to smaller houses and apartments that often lack outdoor space. It may also be connected to Japan's declining birth rate and smaller family sizes. Even so, the tradition remains very much alive, just in a more compact and modern form. In recent years, indoor koinobori decorations have also become increasingly popular since they are smaller, easier to install, and are better suited for modern living spaces. It's also important to remember that koinobori traditions and designs can vary greatly depending on the region. For example, in the Kanto region, larger and brightly colored koinobori are especially popular, while in the Tohoku region, people often prefer more traditional paper or cloth designs. From April to early May, many places across Japan hold koinobori festivals celebrating children while praying for their health, happiness, and future success. During these festivals, hundreds of koinobori are often suspended above rivers, creating the illusion of countless colorful carps swimming through the sky. The sight is truly spectacular. Interestingly, even the movement of koinobori carries intentional symbolism. They are designed so that the wind makes them appear as though they are swimming through the air, representing resistance against hardships, perseverance in the face of strong forces, and the determination to keep moving towards one's goals. More broadly, they also symbolize vitality and life energy itself. And those were some of the most interesting, important facts and stories behind these iconic carp streamers. In the meantime, I also finished these adorable keychains and earrings. The earrings were inspired by both koi and dragon scales, while these little charms are miniature koinobori themselves. So, which one is your favorite? They will be available to purchase in my online store starting from the 20th of May as part of the Solune Society Archives collections. The keychains or back charms will come as part of a small bundle, which will include a handmade keychain similar to the ones featured in the video, a small print of my original sketch on a thick durable paper, a koinobori themed coloring bookmark, and a short letter about koinobori inspired by this video alongside instructions on how to make your own koinobori at home. Please note that some details may still change slightly, so make sure to check my store and follow my socials to know when exactly the drop goes live. Only limited quantities will be available, so if you are interested, you can go find my shop link in the description or in my bio. Also, the first 5 orders will receive 15% off using the code listed in the description or in the pinned comment. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have any myths, legends or topics you would like me to explore and turn into crafts, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and see you next time. Bye!